over here under a few of the videos I posted and in my DM, and I've seen some live clippings from some other creators, a few of my mutuals that is following the story. And what I can say is a lot of people are focusing on her mom and her mom's past and why didn't her mom come get her, and her mom is just as guilty and things of that nature. If a lot of you've been here, you already know how I feel, how I felt and still feel about Naziah's father and her mother, like that she was failed at birth, right? That they gave up on her before she even had a fighting chance. I don't necessarily believe this is the story that Keimani has. But I get how some people are enraged by her mom. I get it. I'm human. I get it. But what I think a lot of people are failing to realize, even if the grandmom has the rights over the body, even if the grandmom is holding the funeral, even all these things, and that could be very much from, and paperwork, right? Paperwork only. That's not to say her grandma was the safe place for her, because we have multiple accounts, multiple people and accounts saying how abusive she was to this young baby, right? Multiple accounts. We have her own interview, which I played the other day, with her saying that she was chastising her, right? That she said the people told her she can do it as long as it's on a butt and it doesn't leave any marks. But a lot of the stories from faculty that reported to CPS said that they saw bruising on this young lady, right? So no matter what we think about the mom or her background, why are we, one, listening to everything the grandmama is saying and holding on to it and spreading it around like it's factual, right? When we know she was the abuser. We know, even if she didn't have anything to do, what would happen to end her life, even if you guys want me to see it from that perspective, and I will take my own feelings out of it and see it from that perspective. Even if that's the perspective you guys want me to see, that her grandmom was not the monster in this situation, she was still her abuser. She made her suffer every day. She made her uncomfortable, because we also played the video where her mom was saying that it was kids at the school telling her that on Monday she was playing in traffic, saying she just didn't want to go home. She wanted to end it all. Right? So what I'm saying is, why are we holding on? Even if you guys don't want to believe anything anybody is saying, let's let the courts tell us. Let's let the cops come tell us. But messaging me and saying that Dorothy came out and said she wasn't arrested and she wasn't questioned, and she asked them to handcuff her so that it could look, y'all must think I'm Boo Boo the Fool. It's not a thing Dorothy can say out her mouth that I'll believe. And I don't need you coming in my comment section, in my messages, on my YouTube channel. I mean, y'all even went as far as to email me to let me know, oh, I live in Toledo, and y'all know, y'all think y'all know, but y'all don't know. If Dorothy was such a monster, why does she still have the rights over the body? I'm going to let you use your critical thinking skills. But don't come ask me about mine. Because my critical thinking skills gave me the answer that I needed about Dorothy, and that she's an abuser. If nothing else, she's an abuser. Her reports say, and I'll go to it so that I'm not just throwing anything out there. I'll go to it where it's like, enough of that made me know that she's not innocent, right? Forgery, aggravated burglary, offender conflict admits or threatens to conflict physical harm on another, trafficking offenses, domestic violence, knowingly cause of attempt to cause physical harm to a family member or household member, assault, no person shall knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to another, domestic violence, knowingly knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to family or household member. Assault, no person shall knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to another. And when I said this, and then it's petty theft, right? That's the last one. But this is the thing. When I said this to somebody, they said, was she convicted? And what do you guys have on the mom? Because the only things you can say is she wasn't there, she didn't protect her, and I would agree. I would agree. But she's saying she didn't have the opportunity. And I'm going to take her at face value. What I want you guys to understand is if you haven't ever had to bury a child that grew inside of you, hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. Because what we do know is that we seen a mom fall to her knees yelling, and we seen a grandma say, I had to do it. Do you really want, who would you rather console in a funeral? Who would you feel is the most hurt and impacted by this situation? Is it the grandma that's rolling her eyes and popping her lips with her bear mace? Or is it the mom that fell to the ground and was unconsolable outside of where her daughter's body was laying? I'm just saying, if we use our critical thinking skills, who would you even console? Because the grandma legit is only moving in the way she's moving to make herself not look like she did anything wrong. Legit is no way to call the cops and tell them to come play lock you up so that people leave you alone. The police put a statement out saying, oh, it was for safety reasons, and they put everybody in handcuffs. They go in the back of that was more believable than what Dorothy said. When indeed, if you use your critical thinking skills, it's no way y'all didn't think Dorothy was being questioned. She's the person responsible for her. She's the person that lets her go and see her father. She's the person that CPS was called on. She's the person that found the scene of the crime, the disappearance. She definitely was being investigated and interrogated, and probably still is. That wasn't just for safety concerns. I'm sorry, guys, if you witness a crime or you're close to a crime or a person you may have, she knows the victim and the father. Why wouldn't they? But you guys continuously send me things that Dorothy has said. I don't know what your FYP is, or what's coming up on your FYP, or who's digging and searching into the mom's background, but I want every woman, forget the men, because I haven't really seen too many men covering this. Let's forget the men. Let's talk about every woman that has made a video, that has live streamed, that has made a post, that has been on Facebook, all of those things. Let's put this in perspective, ladies. Even if you're not a mother, let's put this in perspective, ladies. Let's put this in perspective. Even if she didn't have her daughter her whole life, right? Even if she only seen her once every 10 years, even if she only heard from her once every 3 years, right? When you carry life inside of you, everything about that life becomes a part of you. Whether you nurture it or abandon it, it's a piece that it's always there, that lives inside of you, right? Whether you nurture it or, let it just, right? No matter what. When you heard her screams on that ground, when they came and told her that her child was in there and indeed unalive, what in your right mind made you look up her arrest record? What in your right mind made you look at her post from 2010? especially if you have your children running around in your house while you're posting, while you're on live, especially when your children are running around, right? What in your right mind? Especially because I see more about her past than y'all showing me about Dorothy's past. And I've heard horror stories about Dorothy. Horror stories. And they didn't come out of her daughter's mouth. I'm not taking it from the mother. I'm taking it from all the people that have been around her that have spoke out against her. The same thing y'all did with Naziah Harris' story, where Shannon and her mother was able to play the background and not get any hate online, but everybody else got hate online. Y'all never go after the attackers, because even if the grandmom had nothing to do with her unaliving, she was her abuser for years. Are y'all not enraged about that? Are y'all not enraged about her being her abuser for years? Or to those who say, I'm from Toledo, the Toledo area, come to the front of the class real quick. Come on. Come on. All those who've been in my comments, in my DMs, under my YouTube comments that are here this morning, come to the front really quick. I have a question. Because you all said how I didn't know and that I didn't know what we was talking about in that video. But none of y'all told me what happened to that little girl that was found unalive that was in Dorothy's custody. And none of y'all spoke up on that little girl that was pregnant by, I believe, Dorothy's son or nephew or somebody that disappeared and nobody seen her or her baby. Y'all haven't come and told me about that yet. If you're in the Toledo area and you know so much, come give us an update on that. Come give us an update on that. Let us know about that. Because they both were indeed in Dorothy's custody. So 3 young girls that was indeed in Dorothy's custody, 2 of them are unalived. And one of them was pregnant and just disappeared off the face of the earth. I need the Toledo residents to come to the front of the class, put your hand up, and I'll call on you accordingly. Because you guys know so much of what's going on. And every post I see somebody in the comment section saying, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I'm from Toledo. Come here. Come. Come on. I want to know what you know so much about Dorothy and Toledo that we don't. I want to know what happened. How is it that 3 girls in the custody of one person, 2 of them are unalived, and one of them was pregnant, is missing, and has been missing for quite some time with her newborn baby? Didn't we all realize that that's not a real thing when it came to Naziah? I'm just trying to figure that out. Because I see so much of that online. I see so much of it. You guys are focusing on the wrong people. And to my mutuals that is focusing on her mom, get a hobby. Get something else to do. This ain't it. You'll never be able to cover cases the way they're supposed to be covered if your focus was the mom. You're already down the wrong breadcrumbs. I seen it when y'all was covering Naziah, but I was hoping y'all had hoped this go around and wanted to do this baby the proper way and make sure that we are supportive of those who is grieving the life of her. But no, you guys don't have that. You guys do not have that critical thinking skill that you need to be able to cover situations like this. So go find a hobby. Something else to do. You can literally get up here and talk about anything in the world. If you can't cover these children's stories the proper way, find something else to do. I don't know how much more clear it can be. I'm still waiting for the Toledo, Ohio residents. Nobody's come forward. No, she was not related to Naziah. Similar cases. I see your late note. They're nowhere to be. I'm telling you, if you guys go on my YouTube channel and go under the video I posted the live stream between me, myself, and the aunt that I did the interview with. Is a bunch of Toledo residents there. Everybody failed her. That's absolutely right. Everybody failed her. And I said the same thing about Nazia's story. And I continue to say the same thing about Nazia's story because her family is still failing her. What I'm saying is, we had the people on foot. We had the mother. They say, oh, well, her mom didn't come right away. Did her grandmom call right away? Like, they were both failed. This baby and Nazia. What I'm saying is, if you're going to cover the case and you're going to point the blame at any people, if you're going to cover it and you're going to deep dive and cut, make sure that people like the father, because I haven't seen anybody dig up his stuff except for my private investigator over here and Prophet PI. These are the only times I have every weird post that the father has ever made. I have not seen it on anybody's live stream and anybody's content except for Private PI. The father is in custody. They have him on the ring bell camera, holding her and taking her into the house. They have him standing outside afterwards smoking a cigarette. Why are you guys not ripping him apart? But the grieving mother is who you attack. This app has made sure that I'll never out my mouth say I'm a girl's girl anymore. I could never. Because the things that I see the girls doing, it's not mean girl behavior. It's just... Go ask Dorothy to explain to y'all why her daughter was taken when she was 2.5 years old. If y'all gonna get so much information and rely on Dorothy's statement, go ask Dorothy the hard questions. Go ask Dorothy when she threw out there that her daughter had been telling her off and on for a long time that that wasn't KEIMANI'S real father. Why did she indeed continue to let him around her? Go ask that question. Y'all keep asking the mom why she didn't go get her daughter. She answered it. Furthermore, we know she didn't have her. So we know that she did not contribute to the abuse and the unaliving. We know who did. We know Dorothy was the abuser. And we know who we believe is the unaliver because he's in jail. Go ask them the hard questions. Find out why her own children was taken. Dorothy. Tell me that in my inbox. Those are juicy questions I would love to hear. If you're from the Toledo area and you say, we don't know what's going on, but the teachers in Toledo, the basketball coaches in Toledo, all of these people that have spoken out against her outside of her family, they say she a monster. They said she a monster. She should have never had no children in her custody. That's who's saying. The Toledo area has spoken. As far as I'm concerned, they've spoken. The teachers, the coaches, the students. We're focusing on a person that we know clear as day had nothing to do with her abuse or her unaliving. We also know firsthand she's making it clear that she couldn't stop it if she wanted it. I'm gonna ask you guys, how many of you have stood up to your abuser? Because not only was she her abuser, she abused her child as well, which is the mother why she didn't have custody of her, why she lost custody of her child at 2.5 years old. How many of you have stood up to your abusers? I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a question. Let's put these things in perspective before we attack. I know I've had some things. The thing is, y'all, that the mom is standing up now. She's standing up and speaking out against her abuser and letting you guys know the things that she has experienced with her abuser. And you guys are saying she's lying. You guys are deep diving her past to debunk her abuse. You guys are still debunking her. She's speaking out against her abuser right now, currently. And you guys are saying, no. Hold on. Um, I I did, Mrs. B. I did. Um, I heard about the mom saying she had other kids, but I also never heard the mom say she only had two kids. So if you guys have footage of her saying she only had two kids, send it to me. But I never heard her say she only had two kids. I heard her say she had children. And I just haven't seen anything that said she had. I mean, I think because when she was explaining her children, she said that this one and the youngest one was like 11 years apart or something like that. I think maybe that's where that came from, that people that thought she only had two kids. I'm not really sure. But I haven't seen anything where she said she only had two children. So when it's coming out that she has all these kids, I'm not shocked because I don't remember hearing or seeing anything with the mom saying how many kids she had. Now, if you guys have something, send it to me. But as of right now, I haven't seen anything where she said how many children she's had within the Kimani situation. So finding out she had four, I don't know. Does she have custody of only one of them? Does she have custody of a few of them? Why was my allergies are like so bad right now, and my eye keeps watering. That's why I sound stuffy too. I did take something prior to the live, but I'm from Toledo. Are you talking about the mom? Yes. At the moment, I mean, it depends on what you mean by talking about the mom. Um, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you said you're from Toledo because I asked everybody from Toledo to come to the front of the class. I have a question for you. I have a question for you. My question is, what happened to the young lady that was in the two young ladies that was in Dorothy's custody? And one of them was unalive, but it was no way to link Dorothy to the unaliving. And the other young lady was pregnant by, I believe, one of the family members of Dorothy. And Dorothy said she ran away, but in reality, nobody's seen her or the baby. So I don't know if she's missing or a runaway. I'm trying to figure out. The Paris, yeah, Dorothy is the grandma. I just want one of the Toledo residents to tell me, because what I do know about the Toledo, Ohio residents, that they all stand on they from Toledo and they know more than everybody else knows. So I'm trying to make sure when they are here, we can ask them as many questions as possible, because the Toledo, Ohio residents stand on, they know what's going on. So I just want to know if anybody can give me any insight on it. I know that's right, Jen. I had did some recess 3 o'clock this morning. I just seen somebody in the comment section say that they were from Toledo, right? Um, I want to play a few things. Some of this stuff I have not listened to yet. Excuse me if anything is explicit. Excuse me if anything, and any of this is hard to hear. I'm just about to play this stuff for you. This is the stuff that was put in my Discord over the weekend. And since I was still moving my other house out, I didn't have a chance to. I never heard about the other girls. See if you could get some information for us and come back and tell me. Message. If you could find that out, that would be perfect. I'm not looking for any information on a mom. And I know that was your initial question. I'm not looking for any information on a mom. And I'm not even being smart. I just don't feel like deep diving a mom is a thing to do at her and during her time of grieving her child. I support the mom 100%, wrong, right, or indifferent. I know that she had nothing to do with the abuse or the unaliving of this baby, and that's all I need to know. So I'm more focused on what Dorothy did and been doing and the father. So if you could give me some information on either one of them. Let me play this. Again, I have not heard this stuff, yo.
How old are you? 6. Let me see your hair. Is that around even? Ooh. Got a plan for me. And that's the reason why I keep going through
The
all
mom's
this
mom.
shit. Because he keep putting me through the test. When is the test gonna be over, bro? I just want it to be over with. I hate the way I think. I hate the way I see things. And all I do is sit back and try to just act like I don't see shit. Because if I...
Listen, y'all. And this video is Sarita. I believe I'm pronouncing her name right. Sarita Jones Speaks. This is her YouTube video. I'm thankful for my community for sending this to me from her YouTube. Can y'all go ask Sarita to unblock me on TikTok? I'm not sure why I'm blocked. I've never even been on this lady's page before. I don't know if y'all go in her comment section and show out and tag me in it or what. But somebody go ask Sarita to unblock me. I would love to be able to see her content because the stuff they send me off YouTube, I usually love it and I play it for y'all. And I would love to give her credit for all the videos that I play that she does. But she got me blocked.
Do something about it. I'm going to jail. I'm the one getting in trouble. I just want to know what's the real purpose for me to be here, man. If you're following the story of KEIMANI'S, then you know that Keimani was just 13 years old when her body was found in an abandoned home in Toledo, Ohio on March the 24th, 2025. Now, sadly, it's believed...
I'm going to play this all the way out, but I want you guys, Sarita Jones Speaks. I said that. I want you guys to understand, saying that a video is old. We are watching videos and I've been reading things off his Facebook that just speaks to his character. I'm not saying if a video is new or not. I'm just playing stuff that speaks to his character the same way everybody digging up stuff on the mom that's old and using it as for her character reference. That's what I'm doing.
Her father, Darnell Jones, is responsible for her passing. Now, according to authorities, her grandmother and legal guardian, Dorthy went to work. She came home from work on the morning of March the 17th, and she discovered the house to be in disarray. Now, although she came home from work on March the 17th, Keimani was not reported missing to authorities until March the 18th. When the report was made to the authorities, they did not issue an Amber Alert for Keimani, and they said it was because it was not initially, there was no foul play that was suspected. It was not suspected that this was a criminal investigation. For whatever reason, it was believed that Keimani may have ran away from home. As the investigation progressed over the week, her father, Darnell Jones, is believed to have provided inconsistent statements to authorities. If you haven't heard the background on that, you can check out the other videos on my page. Now, today I do want to get into, there was a funeral that was to be planned for Keimani. Unfortunately, the funeral home has now, they're going to move her services to a new funeral home. Now, before I play the video from the victim of the funeral home director, he did release a video. I do want to get into, remember Darnell Jones, his girlfriend at the time. She's the one who led police to the key evidence in the case. If you're not familiar with it, check it out. I do have another video on my page. Now, Darnell Jones' girlfriend, they do share at least one child together. I don't know how many other kids they share together, but they do have at least one child together. Her sister has come out and has publicly asked for the harassment against her sister to stop. Now, there is someone who allegedly leaked the area of where her residence was at. Based on this, her sister has been getting harassed, and her sister, again, it's Darnell's girlfriend. It's her sister that has come out and publicly asked for the harassment against the girlfriend to stop. And she said, where authorities, her grandmother and boyfriend. So what he's, her new funeral.
It's going to play a little bit over, not the whole thing, but y'all harassing the girlfriend and the mom. But not Darnell and Dorthy. If anything happened to me, just do mine's old school. Put me on the milk carton. Don't put me here. Don't put me here, because my mom don't have the prettiest face. And neither the hell do I. Don't put me here. If that's all they going to worry about is digging me the hell out my past, don't put me over here.
Now, before I play the video from the victim of the funeral home director, he did release a video. I do want to get into, remember Darnell Jones, his girlfriend at the time. She's the one who led police to the key evidence in the case. If you're not familiar with it, check it out. I do have another video on my page. Now, Darnell Jones' girlfriend, they do share at least one child together. I don't know how many other kids they share together, but they do have at least one child together. Her sister has come out and has publicly asked for the harassment against her sister to stop. Now, there is someone who leaked the area of where her residence was at. Based on this, her sister has been getting harassed, and her sister, again, it's Darnell's girlfriend. It's her sister that has come out and publicly asked for the harassment against the girlfriend to stop. And she said, where's my sister's apology? All you know, that is threatening to her house, leaking her address to drive by her house, knowing she had children in the home, pointing fingers.
Is it Janiyah? I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, hun. Is it Janiyah? If it is Janiyah, you said we didn't find out till a couple days ago. A lot of people thought she was helping him. And because Miss Bieber commented why they so upset at the girlfriend, she helped him get arrested. You saying y'all just found that out a couple days ago. I thought that you guys knew she was helping in the Toledo area when she gave up that footage. When she gave up that footage, that key evidence, I thought you guys knew that. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys got that. She gave that footage up right before the body was found, correct?
Clearly, she helped get the man behind the bars. Radio silence. That is the sister. She's asking for the harassment against her sister to stop. In addition to the sister asking for the harassment to stop against her sister has kids with another man. That man has stepped up and he's also requesting for the harassment to stop. Now, listen, he also drops a bomb and he says that Darnell confessed to her that Dorthy was involved in KEIMANI'S case. Now, this is alleged to be messages between him and someone else on Facebook Messenger, and they uploaded the messages. And this is from, his account. And the messages go, they would have never unalived him because I needed a confession. Why he would need a confession, that's a little, strange.
Let me read the messages, y'all. Hold on.
He would be saying he needed confession. Then the person says, what you mean you need? He said, needed a confession. And then they say, like, why are you involved in this? And then he tries to call them and they didn't answer the call. You guys know we're in technology days where people want you to message them so that they can screenshot for these purposes. So that he tried to call them and they didn't answer, and they replied and said they're in the tub. And then he clarifies his role in this and he says, that's my baby mom, baby father's boyfriend. So what he's saying is that, the mother of his kids and Darnell girlfriend is the same woman. And then of course, Darnell and her share a child together. So he's letting them know that that's the relationship. So here's where you need to pay attention. In this, as the conversation goes on, the person says to them, after he clarifies the role, he then goes on to explain that the only reason why the police found Darnell is because of Darnell's girlfriend. He says that Darnell was calling the girlfriend. She wasn't answering, and it was detectives who told her to answer the phone and get as much information as she can so that they can find him. As you recall, Darnell, after he committed the horrific crime against his daughter, he fled people's phone. The detective told her not to tell anybody what was going on or any leads so they couldn't tip him off. I'm over here right now at her house because they keep threatening to come over and up the house on social media, and I ain't letting that slide. Then the person says that Granny had a part in it as well. Now, here's another part that you have to pay attention to. He explains, he said, it's crazy that you said that because he had called and he was talking to her and she was trying to keep him on the phone long enough to get a confession. And he said she had something to do with it, but the recorder that she had on her phone didn't catch it because she didn't turn on the recorder, but the cops were getting recordings from her and she was only doing what the detectives told her to do. And people keep popping up trying to get answers. And the way in the house, they keep trying to say she has something to do with it. But I'm over here with her since about Sunday. She ain't hide nobody in here. She ain't hid no evidence, nothing like that. They're just making up storylines. They really don't know what's going on.
I'm watching a video on YouTube by Sarita Speaks. If you follow her already, can you guys ask her to unblock me? I'm not sure why I'm blocked, but I would love to be in her community. I love how she covers cases. I love how she stays out the mess of it. I don't know why I'm blocked, but Sarita Speaks on YouTube.
And says, well, please stay safe. And then he said, I'm going to try, but I'm not going to let nobody come over here, and my kids are over here. So keep in mind that what he just revealed is that Darnell told the mother of his child that KEIMANI'S grandmother was involved in it. Apparently, she was trying to record the phone conversation, but she thought she was recording it. She wasn't, as I just discussed. But Darnell revealed to her that Dorthy had something to do with KEIMANI'S case. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that this is valid? Do you believe that Dorthy had something to do with it? Of course, this is from The girlfriend of Darnell, this is from her children's father's social media account. I've removed his picture, of course, because I don't want to put the information out there, but it is, messages from him. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Of course, we know Keimani was just 13 years old when she was unalived, and she already had endured so much during her short time of life. Now, after her passing, she can't even get her funeral timely done because allegedly the funeral home director, before he transferred the services, it was revealed that he pled guilty in 2008 to no contest. He pled no contest to charges that he encouraged young men to have relationships with other men for money. He was found guilty. Now, this was back in 2008, but it states that at that time he was the associate minister at Friendship Baptist Church, and that's where police said that he met some of his victims in the church. Now, he did speak out at that time, Richard Brown, and he said his illegal activity ended in 2001 before he built his relationship with God. Now, one of his victims did come forward and speak out about why Keimani's services does not need to occur there, because as we know, Darnell Jones, her alleged father, is also accused of assaulting Keimani. So he said the same person that you're going to trust to bury her is the same person who assaulted me. I'm going to go ahead and play this.
To just expose him, not out of spite, not out following the trend or anything, but I believe it's time to make his name known, and not in a good way. Make his name known so that all who are victimized by him, or who were victimized by him, that you're not alone, that there's someone here for you, that is someone here in your corner, that you are not crazy, that if no one else believes you, I believe you, because it happened to me. And I want to share my story, and I want to blow his name up, and so everyone will know not to trust him, not to do business with him, not to
And one of the things that have came out in this case is, why was Keimani left in the house overnight while her grandmother, Dorthy, who is also her legal guardian, went to work? Some people have said, well, 13 is an age where you can leave a child in the house by themselves as long as they're mature to do so. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Now, a lady who identified herself as Keimani's aunt, and she had pictures and videos, and the video that I played in the introduction, it actually came from her. She states that Keimani did not have the mentality of a 13-year-old child, so Keimani should have not been left in the house by herself. And she said how Dorthy is portraying Keimani on the internet and in her interviews is the opposite of how Keimani was. What are you guys' thoughts? Now, this is what she posted on her account. She said, I'm absolutely being for the people when I post about my niece. I want the people to see and know Keimani grew up on love. She wasn't just a foster kid. She was our family. We may not have been related by blood, but we were all connected by love, and I speak for everyone. So although she referred to Keimani as her niece, and she said Keimani was there when she gave birth to her child, she said Keimani's not related to her by niece, but from her perspective, but blood couldn't have made them closer. Now, this is what she says I need you guys to pay attention to. She said her grandmother failed her. It was never safe or smart to leave Keimani by herself. Keimani's mental is not like a 13-year-old. Her grandmother lied. Her grandmother described her as the opposite of how she really is in that interview. Why lie? What happened to Keimani? Now, this was, of course, before Keimani's body was tragically found in the abandoned house on March the 24th. She posted this on March the 21st. But it gives an insight to how others described Keimani's mentality to be. And while some people may have been outraged that Keimani was even left in the home overnight, which is how Darnell, her alleged father had access to Keimani because he probably knew that Keimani was staying in the house overnight. And then, of course, you know that he initially lied and said Keimani called him and said she was scared. And he said he went over to the house with the cousin, and then the cousin allegedly has been questioned, but he's not believed to be a suspect at this time. So what are you guys' thoughts about this? Now, I do want to show this photo. This is a photo of Keimani, and Keimani is at Darnell's girlfriend's house, the girlfriend that led police to the evidence. Now, this was taken back in 2022, but as you can see in the photo, it's Darnell Jones, his girlfriend, the one who led police to the evidence, and then Keimani is there in the photo. Now, people were speaking out online saying, well, where's the surveillance footage from the night that this occurred? But this photo, although it resurfaced, is from 2022. It's not a recent photo, but it shows Darnell and Keimani, together. So I don't know if Darnell would get Keimani and take Keimani over to the girlfriend's house, if the grandmother entrusted him because she thought that it was the biological father. What are you guys' thoughts about this? I know there's been speculation about whether or not Darnell is indeed the father, and that's been discussed in my last video. Now, what I'm going to also play is there is a interview from Keimani's mom. Now, this was done on a social media, panel where her mom went and spoke out. The significance of this is because a lot of people are questioning, why was Keimani in the care of her grandmother and not the care of her mother? Well, her mother clarifies that Keimani never came home with her after Keimani was born from the hospital. According to the mother, the state ruled her to be medically unfit to take Keimani, and you'll hear this in the interview. And in addition to this, she says that Keimani was first in state custody. And then around the time that Keimani was about 1.5 years old, Keimani went with her godmother. And her godmother had custody of Keimani until that custody was later transferred to the grandmother. The grandmother said that she's had Keimani for the last 5 years, but she did not become the guardian until the last year. But Keimani has been, bounced around from several homes, and custody has been transferred. Now, the godmother who had Keimani before she gave her back to the grandmother, she has been getting harassed and she's been getting threats. Someone has came out and they said that she is the niece of Keimani's godmother. Remember, she's the one that had custody of Keimani. And she said, I'm going to say this one time and one time only. My auntie don't have nothing to do with none of this. So y'all want to go down storyline to tell family business. She don't owe no explanation for nothing. When a person know how Keimani was in my auntie's custodies, people are a liar. Redirect y'all energy, because all of this, because over this one, we not gonna play that on my mom. Yes, everybody knew about Keimani, but what can we do if we telling the system? But what can we do if we tell in the system if it's in their hands? Nothing we can do. Point fingers where they need to be flat out. Now, someone on that post said, who's your auntie? And then she said, not the granny. My auntie is the godmother. And then she said, the person said, okay, I haven't heard a lot about the godmother. And she said, well, if you've been following the case, you have. So the godmother who took custody of Keimani, of course, is getting, threats directed towards her because of the information. What are you guys' thoughts about this? Now, I haven't seen any direct threats towards the godmother, but I'm pretty sure some are circulating, out there. But what are you guys' thoughts? Now I'm going to play the interview from Keimani's biological mom. And this interview was done a couple of days ago. So this was done after Keimani's body had been discovered. Darnell is in custody. She's aware of interviews, and she's going to address that here.
Medical records with, my baby's midwife and my doula's number, all of that good stuff. I brought them my lease. I brought them the title to my car. I brought them W-2s from all of my jobs to try to prove to them that the things that were being told about me were false. And the last time I gave it to them was during what yes calls a staff meeting. I gave it to them the last time in that staff meeting, and they tore it up in my face and threw it in the trash and continued on with the meeting like nothing had happened. So,
but you said she never went home with you, though, right? She never got a chance to go home. You just gave birth to her.
No, they took her from the hospital.
Took her from the hospital. Okay, so my next question, I don't want to hold you into, too long. I know you got a lot to do and you're busy right now. I understand. So they took her from you. Now, during this time that when they took her from you, the first person that she went with was the godmother, correct?
Yeah, they gave the godmother. They gave my godmother kinship care over my daughter when she was 1.5 years.
Okay. And how long did she stay with the godmother?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe she stayed there solely up until she was 5 or 6, and then they started bouncing her back and forth between the two.
Okay, so this basically lines up with what how the grandmother said that she was there off and on for about 5 years. Would that be fair to say?
My daughter's about to be 14 tomorrow. No. No, that's still not accounting for. That's accounting for 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so that timeline is just a little bit conflicted. Okay, so during this time of her being there, how many years did you fight for your daughter after she was born?
Oh, I've always fought. Hey, I'm on the phone. No, do not open that door. No. You want to go out there? You can go out there and play if you want to. You want to go out there? You can go out there and play if you want to. But no, I've always fought for my daughter. I've fought for my daughter since the days that I had her.
Give me 1 second. I pressed the button. I'm sorry. So say that again because I pressed my mixer. My apologies. Say that one more time for me.
I said I've always been fighting for my daughter. That fight has never ended. In June, my mother was supposed to be signing a third-party custody transfer so that I could get my baby back because she said that she did not want her anymore. She said my daughter was stealing. My daughter was lying. I don't know that any of that is factual, and I don't believe it. But she said that my daughter was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and she just couldn't take it anymore. She wanted me to get my daughter. We were supposed to be going to court for that, to give me custody of my daughter back, because every place that I've always had space for my daughter. I've always made sure I had means to take care of.
Right. So this abuse, what do you know about this abuse? Because one thing that I'm noticing is that there's a fair consensus from multiple family members that she was getting hit on by the grandmother. Did you know anything about this, and how long did you know, and what steps did you take outside of, fighting for custody?
My did a very good job. I think that was so that they would be able to do what it was that they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it. Again, I still have my parental rights, but because they are guardian, because they are custodian, if they don't give me the go-ahead, I can't do anything.
Yeah, but I'm saying, did you hear about the abuse? How did you know anything about the abuse that the grandmother was doing?
Hear about the abuse, and I didn't hear about the abuse until the only thing that I've seen, because I've never even seen my mother hit my daughter, other than a spoon, a wooden spoon to her hand. I haven't witnessed any of that, and I think that was for a reason.
Okay, and she is your biological mother, because that was in question as well, correct?
That is my biological mother, unfortunately. How they ended up, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all are so loud. I cannot even think straight. Can y'all please? That's why I said go out there and play with them, so that they can scream and yell and holler as much as they want. Baby, my head, it's a lot of stuff going on in my head. Can y'all please step out? Please.
Sound like multiple kids to me in the background. She keeps saying y'all when she's talking to these multiple kids in the background. That's why I say nothing made me think she only had 2 kids.
I'm not trying to be mean to y'all, but I need y'all out, please. Go.
Sounds like she has custody of them as well.
Okay, I'm a mother. I don't care about none of that. You do you. It's okay. Go ahead.
Well, is there any other questions?
No, I was saying as far as
I got it.
No, I was saying as far as the abuse and things of that nature. You said that you didn't know anything about it. You just knew about the spoon and stuff like that. That's what you was explaining.
Yeah. About anything. The only thing I've ever seen my mother do to my daughter was hit her with a spoon. But I've recently met a bunch of my family that I didn't know existed, and they didn't know I existed. Apparently, they've been trying to figure out where this light-skinned baby came from.
Wow.
The same family that live in Toledo with Dorothy didn't know Dorothy's child and didn't know where the grandchild came from. And that's who y'all taking your advice from. I'm just saying, these people did not have a clue who her kid was because she didn't have custody of her own kids. Are y'all retarded?
Just meeting them, and they have stories on top of stories on top of stories. People that have lived with my mother for months or years on end are telling me what they've witnessed. So,
what are you guys' thoughts after hearing from Keimani's biological mother? Again, what she said was that she never had custody of Keimani. The custody was taken from her when Keimani was born. So what she said in that interview is Keimani actually never came home with her. She went straight to the state. Subsequently, the care of Keimani was transferred to the godmother, who Keimani remained with the godmother until she went to the grandma. And
Thank
then,
you guys for
according
50K.
to her, some of her family, she only most recently met. And then her family, after Keimani's passing, has been telling her stories about what they witnessed, what they experienced. What are you guys' thoughts about the biological mother? A lot of people are saying too little, too late. You're coming here now. Where were you? But as she explained, custody was taken away. So if custody was taken away from her because the state saw that she was unfit, but the grandmother was allowing her to have visits, whether that was allowed by the state, in the custody agreement, unsure at this.
Y'all, even if he is the biological or not biological father, that's who she knew as her father. That's her father. That's who her mom said she opened her legs to. That's the father. Y'all going off of Dorothy saying that it's a possibility he not the father. Dorothy said that her daughter told her this multiple times, but she still allowed her around him. So stop asking me, is that the real father? It does not matter. It don't matter. That's all she knew is her dad. And if her daughter told her multiple times that wasn't the real father, Dorothy still had him around her up until the day she was unalived. So it don't matter. It don't. Why does it matter? Tell me why it doesn't matter. Tell me why it matter. It don't. It don't matter. It's not going to change a thing. If he's responsible whether he's biologically the father or not. He's in jail, right? If he's in jail for the very... I got a violation. Here we go. Let me just play this. Keep my mouth
shut. The grandmother was allowed to have to letting her have visits, because in the prior, interview, the same interview, she said, well, she still had her parental rights. She was paying child support. And that video is on my page if you haven't checked that out. And so if she still had her parental rights, according to her, and because she was still paying child support, but she was expecting to take custody back of Kimani in June, people are still saying, well, you should have did something sooner. But what she's saying is she was unaware that this was going on. Now, a lot of people have called BS on that, saying if Kimani was showing up to school with bruises and webs, and the mother said the only time that she witnessed abuse, well, she saw, something occur, is when she saw her mother hit Kimani with a wooden spoon. What are you guys' thoughts about this so far? Do you guys believe that the mother was aware that abuse was occurring and she turned the side eye? Do you guys think that maybe she didn't know and she just thought that that was normal discipline? Now, you know that Dorthy, which is Kimani's grandmother, previously spoke out about Child Protective Services coming into the home on various occasions. Child Protective Services spoke out. They released a statement and they said they did come in the home. They didn't find enough evidence to remove Kimani, but what they did was they gave Dorthy proper discipline techniques on how to discipline Kimani, because it was reported that Kimani was a child that had behavior issues. Now, to the extent that's unknown, but the grandmother is saying, yes, I disciplined her, but it was appropriate. Now, I want to play this interview from her grandmother. And the reason why I want to play this portion of the interview is because, did you guys pick up in this interview, she says Kimani was a virgin and that Kimani didn't like boys. A lot of people have been criticizing, why would she say that Kimani was a virgin and she didn't like boys? Like, what would be the significance of that? A lot of this has been called into question.
The title to my car.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I'll take that back.
Sure at this time, but
Can I speak on that? Can I speak on that for a second? Give me 1 second to bring that. Why does it matter what her sexuality was, what she dressed like, what hobby she liked? Why did it matter? Especially when you had an aunt come up and say, Kimani didn't even act like a 13-year-old. So that just lets me know she didn't really know at all. They let me know she probably wasn't picking her clothes out. Those were the things Dorthy was picking out for her. And she was just a simple kid that put on what she got, played basketball when she could, and chilled with her friends regularly. That's what I took from that. My daughter's a 3-year champ. She just won her 3rd year this year. MVP 2 of those years. She's the most girliest girl I know. Spends the more money in Sephora than I do. The most girliest girl I know. But she will put some ball shorts on, some ball sneaks on, and get busy on the court. Do you hear me? She will get busy on the court. And during the month of Ramadan, she was doing it with a shayla on. Every basketball game. I'm just saying, why are we labeling what she was, what she liked? Why is it people saying she probably was like that because she was SA'd? It has not been revealed. It has not been any documentation. It has not been any fact that say this little girl was a child of SA other than her autopsy report. So that could have just happened during that time. It's nothing that suggests that she was SA'd for all this time and she doesn't like men, and it's nothing that suggests that at all. I haven't seen it. Y'all are putting labels and putting things out there that hasn't even been. Nobody said that that was a thing. What we do know is that she was complaining about abuse. Physical abuse. We have not heard one person, not a teacher, not a friend, not a neighbor, not an aunt, not an uncle, nobody say neighbor, not an aunt, not an uncle, nobody say that. Not one. They said she was abused. Dorthy said grooming. Dorthy said she was groomed. Dorthy said she was groomed, but was allowing the person she said was grooming her around her and not her mother. not family members that was speaking out about the abuse to her. Y'all are not using your critical thinking skills. And I keep saying that. And as much as I want to believe most adults know how to tap into that, you guys are showing me otherwise. You guys, Save the Youth. Love, you can go right over to Sarita Speaks page and you can watch it yourself without any interruptions. Here, I'm going to stop as much as I choose. And that, and you're always welcome here. I want to always put that out there. You're welcome here. But I'm the 10 a.m. teacher, love.
Grandmother was allowed to have letting her have visits because in the prior, interview, the same interview, she said, well, she still had her parental rights. She was paying child support. And that video is on my page if you haven't checked that out. And so if she still had her parental rights, according to her, and because she was still paying child support, but she was expecting to take custody back of Kimani in June, people are still saying, well, you should have did something sooner. But what she's saying is she was unaware that this was going on. Now, a lot of people have called BS on that, saying if Kimani was showing up to school with bruises and webs, and the mother said the only time that she witnessed abuse, she saw, something occur, is when she saw her mother hit Kimani with a wooden spoon. What are you guys' thoughts about this so far? Do you guys believe that the mother...
Rose Kelly, even if it do come out, it hasn't come out yet. So when we are doing the thing of labeling her as an S8 victim, and that's why she's a tomboy, and that's why she plays with basketball, and that's why this, and that's why that, we have to stop because that has not come out. Nobody has spoken on it in that sense. The cops have the dad's phone. The cops have... What I'm saying is, right? And hear me real quick. If we're going to throw out hypotheticals, you want to know what my hypothetical is? Is that her father impregnated that young lady that was in Dorothy's custody, and that's what she holds over his head. And that's hypothetical. If we're going to throw a hypothetical out there, let's throw that one out there.
Interview, the same interview, she said, well, she still had her parental rights. She was paying child support. And that video is on my page if you haven't checked that out. And so if she still had her parental rights, according to her, and because she was still paying child support, but she was expecting to take custody back of Kimani in June, people are still saying, well, you should have did something sooner. But what she's saying is she was unaware that this was going on. Now, a lot of people have called BS on that, saying if Kimani was showing up to school with bruises and webs, and the mother said the only time that she witnessed abuse, she saw, something occur, is when she saw her mother hit Kimani with a wooden spoon. What are you guys' thoughts about this?
So people are saying they don't believe the mom didn't see any abuse with Kimani because the school said they seen weapons, but the mom saying she only seen the grandma hit her with the spoon. How many times do y'all think they were all in the same room together? If the mom hasn't seen her for 3 years, but the people at school see her every day.
Now, you know that Dorthy, which is Kimani's grandmother, previously spoke out about Child Protective Services coming into the home on various occasions. Child Protective Services spoke out. They released a statement, and they said they did come in the home. They didn't find enough evidence to remove Kimani, but what they did was they gave Dorthy proper discipline techniques on how to discipline Kimani, because it was reported that Kimani was a child that had behavior issues. Now, to the extent that's unknown, but the grandmother is saying, yes, I disciplined her, but it was appropriate. Now, I want to play this interview from her grandmother. And the reason why I want to play this,
I played this interview the other day, but we're going to play. She's going to play it. Listen.
She says Kimani was a virgin and that Kimani didn't like boys. A lot of people have been criticizing, why would she say that Kimani was a virgin and she didn't like boys? Like, what would be the significance of that? a lot of this has been called into question. Then she's going to talk about, Kimani overall. But I also want to say that the cousin, the reason why I'm playing this is because excuse me, not the cousin, but the aunt, the lady that's come out and identified herself as Kimani's aunt, she says Kimani is the opposite of how Dorthy is describing her to be. So this is the reason why, I want
Remember,
to
we had
play
the aunt
this.
on the platform. We interviewed the aunt. Remember?
Expand on that? Is there family members that weren't allowed around her?
No, it's just not very many that came around, and those that did, she acted, as far as I'm concerned, she acted accordingly. She embraced all children, bad or good. Okay, next question.
So now we do know that Darnell, people are looking for Darnell Jones right now. The police are looking for Darnell Jones, and there's an arrest warrant out for him. Do you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Oh, well, to my knowledge, he was just arrested in Columbus. He just recently had a shootout with the police in Columbus. They're saying that he confessed to her murder, and no, I take that back. They're saying that he confessed to her rape and slitting her throat.
How does it feel to learn that?
I can't.
So he confessed to her grape and her throat. But what about her hands, Dorthy? Who was the mastermind with the hands, Dorthy? Who was the mastermind with the hands, Dorthy? He confessed to the two of multiple things that happened to her. What about that, Dorthy? It's some other stuff I found out about how she was when she was found that hasn't been released to the public yet, so I won't speak on it. But what about that stuff, Dorthy? Okay.
Say.
As the police report mentions, Kimani was last seen with Darnell.
Hey, Joe.
Do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with, as you're her guardian, do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with Darnell?
I do, only because, like I said, I feel deceived. I feel like this was pre-planned. I feel like
Not at all,
you meant
girl,
to do this.
miss.
I feel like you was grooming her.
When you say grooming her, is there things that you saw before this?
No,
until his story comes out, guys, I'm gonna say I believe that his only role was that he moved her.
I never saw anything out the ordinary. But when molesters decide to choose prey, they groom you first. So they give you gifts. They try and make you comfortable with them. They try and say little things to you that you and they can keep secret. And then eventually they pounce. And that's how I feel that, oh God, how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
There's also comments, and we're just trying to address those and get those addressed, but there's comments online and speculation again that, Kimani, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, abuse in whose eyes? Because she was not abused. Yes, she was chastised whenever she was wrong or did things wrong. Other than that, she was not abused. She was not just whooped for no reason or just...
Hold on, guys. Hello. Hey. I miss you too, baby. All right. I'll call you back in a little bit. All right. Child, my eyes are so red and watery from allergies, y'all. It's insane.
I felt like it. I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSP or CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy. And they came in, they did a case study, and closed it. They've stated there's a way to chastise children without physically harming them. And you need to whoop them on their behind, nowhere else. So, okay, with that in mind, I knew that. So she didn't have like bruises all over.
How long ago was that when they came into your home?
I would say the latest, it was approximately 7 months ago.
And so you say the latest. So was it a few times that they came into your home?
It was twice.
You said, so that's why she said that she don't like boys because she just revealed she had been S8. She didn't reveal she'd been S8, love.
Total.
So twice total that they came into your home and checked. Okay. And it was all for just like you mentioned, what you just said.
Yes.
Explaining. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms...
Listen to KEIMANI'S grandmother as she explains that Darnell is currently in police custody. Although he was involved in a shootout, he is expected to survive. He has given a confession to the authorities. Listen to what she says he confessed to. Additionally, she shuts down social media claims that KEIMANI was abused, and she says she regrets allowing KEIMANI to go with Darnell. Listen to it.
Expand on that. Is there family members that weren't allowed around her?
No, it's just not very many that came around. And
baby, Keita, because I don't want you to think I'm being smart. She's saying that he confessed to and raping her in that instance of her unaliving. It was not that she was S8 throughout her life. She did not make it like that. Nobody's made it like that. But the internet is making it like she's been S8. That's why she don't like boys. She's been S8. That's why she dresses like a tomboy. And I'm not saying it can't be a real thing. What I'm saying is nothing factually has come out like that. So putting that on her is adding more to a story that we didn't get that piece of. Not one person has come forward and made it like that she said it, that she that you can tell that she needed to be checked out. The grandmom just said she was a virgin. She just had said it. She was a virgin. Red hearts in the chat, basketballs in the chat. We're gonna finish this out.
those that did, you know, she acted, far as I'm concerned, she acted accordingly. She embraced all children, bad or good. Okay, next question.
So now we do know that Darnell, you know, people are looking for Darnell Jones right now. The police are looking for Darnell Jones, and there's an arrest warrant out for him. Do you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Oh, well, to my knowledge, he was just arrested in Columbus. He just recently had a shoot. Right, but say little things to you that you and they can keep secret, and then eventually they pounce. And that's how I feel that. Oh God, how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
There's also comments, and we're just trying to address.
She was a virgin. She didn't like
comments
boys
online and speculation again that you know, KEIMANI, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, abuse in whose
Mama
eyes?
Tim.
Because she was not abused. Yes, she was chastised whenever she was wrong or did things wrong. Other than that, she was not abused. She was not just whooped for no reason or just because I felt like it. I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSP or CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy. And they came in, they did a case study and closed it. They've stated there's a way to chastise children without physically harming them. You need to whoop them on their behind, nowhere else. So, okay, with that in mind, I knew that. So she didn't have like bruises all over.
How long ago was that when they came into your home?
I would say the latest, it was approximately 7 months ago.
And so you say the latest. So was it a few times that they came into your home?
It was twice total.
So twice total that they came into your home. Check. Okay. And it was all for just like you mentioned, what you just said.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms...
Listen to KEIMANI'S grandmother as she explains that Darnell is currently in police custody. Although he was involved in a shootout, he is expected to survive. He has given a confession to the authorities. Listen to what she says he confessed to. Additionally, she shuts down social media claims that KEIMANI was abused, and she says she regrets allowing KEIMANI to go with Darnell. Listen to it.
Expand on that. Is there
My daughter, she play baseball and so girly.
No, it's just not very many that came around, and those that did, you know, she acted, as far as I'm concerned, she acted accordingly. She embraced all children, bad or good.
What does that mean?
Ma'am. Okay, next question.
So now we do know that Darnell, people are looking for Darnell Jones right now. The police are looking for Darnell Jones, and there's an arrest warrant out for him. Do you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Oh, well, to my knowledge, he was just arrested in Columbus. He just recently had a shootout with the police in Columbus. They're saying that he confessed to her murder. And no, I take that back. They're saying that he
And do you have any regrets of letting KEIMANI go with Darnell?
I do, only because, like I said, I feel deceived. I feel like this was pre-planned. I feel like you meant to do this. I feel like you was grooming her.
When you say grooming her, is there things that you saw before this?
No, I never saw anything out the ordinary. But say little things to you that you and they can keep secret, and then eventually they pounce.
Seems like something she knows all too well.
Oh God, how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
There's also comments, and we're just trying to address those and get those addressed, but there's comments online and speculation again that, KEIMANI, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
So much stress, so much anger, and I'm just trying to do the right thing. I pray, I read my Bible, I try to help out people the best as I can. And I'm just not feeling this. It ain't financial or none of that, bro. If you thinking that's what it is.
Amber, I'm gonna get to that.
It's nothing like that. It's just something mental. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through something mentally and physically fucked up. I ain't been feeling the same.
No, this is an old video he had on his Facebook page. Hey, Kim. Me either, bro.
Ain't nothing wrong, man. Just, I don't know. There's a lot of shit that's on my chest that I can't control. They, like, I don't know how to explain it, man. All I gotta do is just keep trying to stay good, be good, man. That's all. I ain't get on here to have nobody show sympathy, nothing, or anything. It's just so much shit happens to people out here, and nobody know what really the real stories be. So, I just get on here, try to let people know what's going on. If you care, you care. It's just something mental.
What, Brownie?
I just want a hug, y'all. Give me a hug. A hug would be wonderful.
Yeah, we need a cart. We need a cart. Cart. Darnell, stay with me, bro. Keep talking to me, okay? Dave, 511. If anyone is listening at home, officer support. Sit here, legs, arms. Which way you want his head? Right there? Okay.
Listen, I just want to answer a couple questions that I did see in the chat that I didn't get the. I know everybody was like, why did she mention the kids? Why did she mention kids, good or bad? If you wanted to know why, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't care, put a 2 in the chat. I'm going to tell you why she mentioned the kids. Because everything she said in that interview, she was answering for social media. Because the questions she was asking and the question how she was answering them was questions about things that's been put out since all of this has happened. So I'm going to go back to Mrs. Parker's live where the cousin Trina spoke and also her mom spoke. That wasn't just played, but hear me out. Remember the grandma was saying that this happened on Monday or that the little girl didn't go to school on Monday, and that came out to be a lie, that everybody at school said they seen her. But the cousin also mentioned that one of her good friends was over at Dorothy's house and was playing with Keimani, and something happened, and I'm not sure if she hit him in the eye or something happened with the little boy. That's why Dorothy mentioned them kids. Everything Dorothy mentioned was to answer questions that's been put out online already. Everything Dorothy mentioned in that interview we just listened to was things that was put out online already. Her bringing up how Keimani dressed is because people mentioned that online already. People were saying, oh, she give like stud, tomboy, all of that. Dorothy picked that and ran with it. Y'all not paying attention. Y'all not paying attention to what's happening. Everything she answered. Then CPS was brought up a lot on live. And how teachers were seeing her with whelps and bruises and stuff. She spoke on that. Oh yeah, CPS did come out to the house a few times and they showed me how to properly abuse her, I guess. That's what she was trying to allude to. Everything she said in that interview, y'all, was things that people had already was questioning on the internet. That was her way to smooth it over. Hold on. Oh, goodness, y'all. I'm so over these allergies. I'm just glad that I'm not sneezing, but the way these allergies got my eyes feeling, I might have to take this little makeup off and rest my eyes. But hold on, because she's saying that. She said that. And hold on, because we have a breaking news. We have breaking news. Now, I'm not disclosing my people because my people is my people. But Darnell is not in the jails yet. He's still in the hospital. Cause I got confirmation from the CEO. I mean, from a CO at the jails this morning. He not in Columbus at all, in no jails. He's still very much in the hospital. He's still very much in the hospital. The latest message I got from her was at 11:12 a.m. this morning. It's 11:41. He's still in the hospital, very much in the hospital. So the same way how y'all got the information about Dorothy saying she asked them to handcuff her and all of that, it's the same way y'all ran with the narrative of him being in the jails already. Wait, hold on. I think somebody fighting outside my house. Hold on. Well, child, we back in the hood. I'll tell you that. I can't see. I thought I would be able to. I just hear him. I can't see. I just hear him, y'all. We back in the hood. We in the cool part of the hood, but baby, we back in the hood very much. Very much. But I do want to play a snippet from the interview from Mrs. Parker, where first of all, to those who just take what Dorothy's saying, did y'all ask Dorothy? Go ask her why. After she said that gas and stuff was on and she found their house in disarray, was she in there making a goddamn omelet? Go ask Dorothy when her granddaughter clothes was scattered over the house, glasses left, knowing she can't see without her glasses and all of that stuff. Go ask her, why was she in there making an omelet? How were you hungry when you came in and her underclothes was in one part of your downstairs and her pajamas was in another part of your downstairs? Somebody go ask. Because the Toledo residents, that's what I want you guys to find out. You guys have firsthand knowledge. You guys are there. You guys boots on the ground. So it's quite a few questions I have that I need you guys to go find out for me. Everything that's online, I can find out myself. Those questions to Dorothy, I need you guys to put boots on the ground. I need you to find out the hard-hitting questions. I truly do. I need you guys to find out all of these things that we can't find out because all we getting is Dorothy's fake crying, fake emotional, fake throw things off. Because there's no way in the same interview you said, this lady told you multiple times that this man wasn't her father. You said he groomed her. You said all of these things, but you were the person that kept him around her. Bye, Rick, Ronnie. I hope you and your family enjoyed your Eid. From me and my family, I was going to tell my friends that I was going to take Sadaka from them, but I'm sure my husband would have cussed me out badly. If y'all would like to send me some Eid, I'll take it.
Her pajamas were in the dining room on the floor. Her family handed out flyers telling people if they. And she said, well, I called, and she said the house was in disarray. And she's also said that, so I was like, well, if she needs her glasses and she can't see and the gas is on, you said the house was in disarray, and disarray means it's disheveled. You know, it's shit everywhere. Tables turned over and some more. How she described it, that's, you know, disarray means the house is tore up. So I was like, why would you call the school and not the police? So when we first seen her missing report, it said that they reported her the last time she was seen was Sunday the 16th. So that was a little odd to me. Well, I can tell you that's accurate. Her dad has been telling me, because he ended up calling me shortly after my sister did. And he said my mama didn't call him until late. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I was told. But he said for sure, he dropped her off. This is his story. I'm not saying that it's true, but he said he dropped her off at my mom's house at 10 o'clock the night before. She called him at 12:30 saying that somebody was trying, or I'm sorry, 11:30 saying that somebody was trying to break in. He left her house, according to him, at like 12:30, and that was it. But I don't know too much about what's going on with Darnell, or if any part of that was true to begin with. What I do know is my mother's story and about how she found the house does not make sense.
We will be
when
pink
I got
sauce.
Here, because I did speak to my mother. When I got here, I asked my mama when she got here and she seen the house, was the door open? She said no, the door wasn't open. It was just unlocked. Now,
thank you guys for 100K.
From a logical standpoint, if that door was unlocked but it was closed, and that gas pilot had been lit, we'll say 1:45 when they say that KEIMANI called her dad and called her dad's girlfriend. If that gas pilot was turned on around 1:45 and my mama says she didn't get home until about 10 o'clock, that's 8 hours that gas has been running. If you open that door and that gas been running that whole time, it would have knocked you clean the fuck out. Yes. Not only that, my mama smokes like a motherfucking chimney. My mama smokes like a motherfucking chimney. 9 times out of 10, when my mama walked in that door, she was smoking a motherfucking cigarette. Bitch, that shit would have blew your ass out that water. Them dogs would not be alive. No. Both of them dogs, I just seen them the other day. They cool. They a little not normal. They acting a little weird, but they cool. So what's up?
Purple hearts in the chat, guys. My daughter is not one share the live.
That's gonna leave her clothes just anywhere. My daughter's very insecure about her body and different stuff like that. My daughter only gets dressed in her bathroom.
I'm sorry, read hearts in the chat. I'm sorry, I said purple.
So someone said when you had your daughter, because you had her that week, like the 15th. Yeah, she was with me on the 15th. Was she concerned, Sierra? Was she different, or was she just vibrant? No, she was vibrant. She was her normal self. She was happy. She was elated. I think she was honestly just happy to see me because it's been so long. You feel me? And finally, my mother gave her father to go ahead to bring her to me. I've been begging to see my baby for forever. So I think her having that connection back really just the thought and the hope and the prospect of being able to have me in her life again. I think that's really I think it really just took over for her. I don't think she was really thinking about anything else at that moment. But yeah, she was at my house. She played video games. She played with me, played with her sister. You know what I'm saying? We had a ball. Is Dorthy your real mother or stepmother? Yes, she's my biological mother. Where is these stories coming from, Sierra, that this is your adopted mother? It's so many stories out there right now. That's because social media. I was gonna say I think what it is, because I have talked about that I'm adopted before,
And I think people just got the stories mixed up and misconstrued with everything else that's going on. It's already hard to keep track of what's what with the case in itself. But then when you add in individual people and you try to figure out who they are and why things are the way they are, things tend to get a little chaotic. So I think that's where that came from.
Thank you for clearing that up, baby. Top Flight said, who had time to change her clothes?
I don't think it was a matter of her changing her clothes. What I think, honestly, if you ask me, either my baby never made it in the fucking house, or my baby never left the house. I can't really speak on nothing else. But like I said, my baby not one of them kids that's just gonna leave stuff anywhere. My mother is not stable. I'm not gonna lie to you. If my daughter open that door for nobody, if my daughter would have left that house in disarray, my mama would have beat the brakes off of that girl, and I know that. My daughter has been very, and I'm gonna say it the way that I've been saying it. My daughter has not been raised; she has been trained. She was not about to open that door for nobody because it would have been an issue with my mother. My daughter has keys. If my daughter was gonna leave on her own, she would have locked that door. My daughter cannot see without her glasses. She's very much like her mother, blind as a fucking bat. She would have took her glasses.
I said, why wasn't that concern? You said yourself, she told the news, she can't see without her glasses. So that would have been like, number one, me coming in my house and seeing her keys, and then seeing her glasses, knowing my baby can't see without her glasses, and then clothes in the house in disarray. That's alarm for me. That's automatic. I'm super dramatic, and I'm calling the police instantly. I'm not thinking about school. I'm not thinking. It's just out of place to me. We got 5 kids. What's out of place? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, she said when she seen the house in disarray, the first thing she did was call the school to talk to KEIMANI. That don't even make fucking sense. That don't make sense. Why would I call the school? Motherfucker, I'm calling the police because something's clearly not right here.
Okay. Are you looking for a man or a woman, or I don't know what?
I am looking for. I'm looking for my one and true only.
So so Darnell said, we heard him say, he went to the house, said, KEIMANI called him and said somebody was, and about the door, when she said how smart and intelligent KEIMANI was, I was like, I can't see that baby opening the door for anybody. She had to be super cool.
She wouldn't even open that door for me if I would have came and knocked on that door.
I'm saying?
No.
So when he said he went with a cousin, and I was like, do you know the cousin, Sierra?
It's going to come up, Miss B.
This
that interview.
KB. I don't know him. I've seen him one time. I've met him one time. But he's not from what I know, he's not a talker. The man sat in my house for a whole 2 hours with me, Darnell, and KEIMANI, my friend, and my youngest daughter. And he probably said all of like 3 words.
And so they said,
was that when they came over to Dorthy house that day? He was just sitting there and not saying.
Yeah, he's an observer for sure. He's sitting back and he's watching what's happening. But I promise you, that entire 2 hours he was at my house, I think the only thing he said was like, "Let me hit that," talking about a cigarette type shit. Like, he really don't talk.
Mm-hmm. Katrina, let me ask you this too. With him not being a talker, did that bother you or Sierra any? Did it seem suspicious, or that's just him?
I was looking at everybody because Sierra wasn't there at this time that I'm talking about. This is when, Dorthy called me at 12:47 on Messenger, and she's asking me, did my sister go to work? And I'm like, no, she said, is my sister at home? And I'm like, no, she at work. What's going on? She like, do you know if her kids went to school? Now, mind you, my sister live around the corner from Dorthy, and my nieces go to school with KEIMANI. So I'm like, no, what's going on? She like, KEIMANI didn't go to school, so I was seeing if KEIMANI was at her house. Now, I know for a fact, my sister, even if KEIMANI would have came around there, my sister she probably would have called me before she would have called Dorothy, because she would have probably been wondering why this baby done ran away or, whatever. But Keimani loves school. I don't see her missing a day of school. But so I just felt like that was just weird. Like, why wouldn't you call my sister and ask her if her kids went to school? Those are not my kids. Those are my nieces. So, I'm my bad. I was just reading something that just threw me off.
No, you can read whatever. You can read whatever. I don't want you to be thrown off.
But so after, before I hung up with her, I'm like, well, I'm gonna call her, or I'm gonna call one of my nieces. But I'm like, man, I'm not even about to call to my sister at work. My niece is at school. They don't even need to. I'm about to see. So I just, once I hung up with her, I just gotta not.
I need y'all to really listen to this part. Really listen to what Trina is about to say. Trina is her older cousin, grown woman. Listen to what Trina say. She said the grandma contacted her. Did your sister kids go to school today? Because her sister kids go to school with Keimani. She was going to call her sister and her niece to see you. She said, absolutely not. I'm going to take matters into my own hands and find out what's going on. If you're not already following me, follow me. I'm here 10 to 2, Monday through Friday. I cover all cases like this for the most part. Like, share, follow, send a gift if you like. I like little gifts.
To my stomach, it just felt weird. Because first and foremost, me and Dorothy don't get along. So out of all people, why would she call me? But I guess maybe I'm thinking now, maybe she probably called me because she probably thought I wasn't going to give a fuck. Because she know that I don't like her, but baby, I love that baby. So once I dropped my brother off, I pulled up at her house. And I start asking questions. What color did Keimani have on? Do you know what she had on? And I said, is any post being made about, any her missing, be on the lookout? It's never once been an Amber Alert, not even up until today. No Amber Alert has been made at all. So she I said, you got any pictures of her for I can, she, I gave them to the police. They gonna post her. So I'm like, okay. She tell me her side of the story of how her house was. But like she said, if the gas is on, how the fuck is you in here making an omelet? You in here cooking breakfast. When I got there, she was making
breakfast. Hold on.
She was making a fucking omelet.
Yeah, so did she Darnell go to school on that Monday, Sierra and Katrina? Did she go to school on that Monday or no?
She did go to school Monday because my nieces even confirmed that her friends that she sit with at lunch, they all confirmed it. Even the lady in the office confirmed it because my sister and the lady in the office are very close. She, I know she probably could get in trouble, but to tell if the baby went to school or not. But at the end of the day, this is a missing child. So she told her, yes, Keimani has been to school Monday. She did not come to school Tuesday. Keimani only missed 2 days out of the whole year, and she's only been tardy once. And the 2 days that she had missing, they said it was nothing recent.
Okay, Sierra. So, when she didn't let you see Keimani, was it mandatory that you got to see Keimani, or anything that you feel like, dang, let me call the police about? Or it was just like, you're going to deal with Darnell when, you know what I'm saying, to keep confusion down?
So, I've always had my parental rights, even from, they took her from the hospital from me, but even when they gave my godmother kinship care, I still had my parental rights. My name is still on her birth certificate. Regardless of whatever, I still have that right. That is still my child. So, I always had an issue, even with my godmother, she did the same type of shit. Used me as a bargaining chip, or used my kid as a bargaining chip when it came to me. I don't know why, I'm not sure, but that's always been the case. So I always find other means, even if it's me having to sneak into town just so I could catch a glimpse of my kid and make sure she cool. I did that. You feel me? Even if it was me going through, like I said, her dad, and just being like, hey, when she there, call me. Tell her don't tell nobody, but tell her call me. I need to talk to my baby. Like, I've always had my parental rights, but one thing's for certain, two things for sure. I'm not about to jeopardize my kids' safety trying to be in these people's faces. And I'm not about to jeopardize my safety trying to be in these people's faces either.
Yeah. Why did she think someone was trying to break in, do you think? Or is it just a story that you think is made up?
I think that was just a story. Yeah.
I think that's a storyline that they came up with to try to explain some shit away.
So is there anybody else claiming to be your mother, or could that be the godmama that everybody's talking about? Because it's like it's somebody out there claiming to be your mother besides.
If you use castor oil, you'll grow your hair longer. If you use argan oil, you'll decrease hair loss. If you use
your opinion,
like they were saying, like it was another woman, like as if it's your adopted mama. Then I think maybe is it your godmama speaking out about anything that you know of, Sierra?
My godmom is attempting to speak out on KEIMANI'S behalf, but in the same token, she's sitting at home with her grandkids having a good old time. So I'm not taking too much. I'm not putting too much hope and faith behind that girl. But the only person that can ever claim me is my adopted mother, because I have her last name. But she live in Maine. She don't know what the fuck is going on. That woman is about 73 years old.
Let me ask Katrina this question. Katrina, someone asked, did y'all know the name of the person that was staying with Dorthy, or because
yes,
it was her, and she claimed to the news it was just her.
Yep, and that's why, and then that's crazy because every time lie being told, and I'm calling them out on their lies, because I was standing right there when Alexis Means interviewed them. Before they even got interviewed, me and the auntie Deetra, Alexis Means was talking to us, like, so who's going to go on air? I'm like, I will, but, I'm KEIMANI'S big cousin, so I feel like her grandmother and her dad should go. The person, her caretaker, and the last person that seen her. So I feel like they should go on. I'm not going on air. I said, why not? Why not be a voice for her? So once they got on there and she said what she said about them being the only ones there,
Princess, it doesn't matter to me. None of that matters to me. I'm only focused on her abuser and the person who unalived her. As far as the mom left her, didn't come back, then try to get her past her, I don't care about any of that. I don't. We're here now.
Like, they lying. They're lying. She lying. And then the girl standing right there, and I'm like, she just said that it's only her and KEIMANI and these dogs living here, and this girl standing right here, and she pulled out her keys and did just like this. Shabu. If you looking for Shabu, her name's Shabu Carson. Can't nobody find her, but that's her Facebook name. Mm-hmm. It sounds just like it's spelled, Shabu. SHABOO.
And all these investigators that's digging up the mom's past, why y'all ain't find Shabu or her boyfriend yet? The aunt gave us a list of people that we should be looking at. I ain't see none of y'all drop nothing in my DM, my email, my YouTube, my comment section about Shabu or her man yet. The people that was living in the house, that people that were just released from jail.
What she looked like, and I tried to attack that lady. Man, them people and see, I've been in crash out mode and all type of stuff. Like that girl, I told her,
Toledo, where is Shabu?
Put her hands up. And shut the fuck up, bitch. You can never tell me you ain't never seen her do that, because she did it in front of my friend and she don't even know her. So shut the fuck up.
Well, hold that thought, Katrina, with that what you just said. Sierra, come here real quick so I can. Then I want to get back to you.
We both right here.
Nowhere. Okay. What happened? The dynamic to the relationship of a mother and a daughter getting so bad, because we're hearing about she blackmailing you or something like that, lying on you to get custody of.
I got got taken away from my mother when I was 2 years and 2 months old.
2 years and 2
I
months.
was 19, and I seen some shit that she didn't want me to see, and I did some shit that she ain't want me to do, and it put a sour taste in her mouth, and she ain't like me since, and that's okay.
And they got y'all away from her, and y'all was safe.
So, did Dorothy call the police, or how did it go? Because we are, like you said, I'm glad you cleared that up about Sunday and stuff like that. She went to school on Monday, guys.
Her friends actually inboxed me and told me they self like, no, Keimani was definitely at school Monday. We had lunch together. And then her one friend also told me, her best friend, she said after we got out of school on Monday, me and her walked to the store and went and got snacks and stuff.
Listen to what the mom say next.
And she told me that same day, my daughter was out in traffic, playing in the cars, trying to kill herself because she said life at home had got just too hard. So...
So, Katrina, who else lived in the house besides? Because she said just 2 dogs, her and Keimani.
Shabu and her boyfriend. I'm not sure his name. Babo. Look, she know his name, Babo. Look, these people hey, listen. Weird people. They don't belong nowhere. Weird people.
You know when
I talked to Sanika, because I asked Sanika, did she know who she was? She said, girl, my mama always running a homeless shelter. Always. She always got somebody in and out that house, sex offenders. They said that the girl Shabu just got out from doing 6 years. I don't know what she just got out of jail from doing. But yeah, I tried to look her up. I couldn't find her. All I could find was her Facebook.
So
I asked her to be her friend. She knew who I was because they said I ran her away from over there and they ain't seen her ever since.
They were living in the house with Dorothy and Keimani at the time, guys.
Even know about him because
the detective did know about her. She has contacted her and nowhere to be found. No callbacks. No, she can't even get through on her line.
This is crazy. So we get back to the point of the abuse, Katrina. Me and you had talked for a minute, and I had a pleasure of talking to you and giving you your flowers for putting on your own search. So, how did you learn about the abuse?
Knowledge is put to the test in every GMCC.
I was living in the home with her. My grandmother had passed away in November 2021. And at that time, me and my kids were living in and out of hotels. So my mom asked her if it was okay if me and the kids come stay there, because my mom, she was staying there at the time, because she didn't leave until everything was settled with my grandmother, and that was like right before Christmas. So she was there for a good. No, she was there longer because my uncle passed in October. So it was like my uncle passed and like she had to stay up until December. So my mom was at Dorothy's house at the time and she asked if we could stay. I didn't hear the conversation, so she said, I guess she claimed, she said, yeah. But once me and Dorothy had got into an altercation, she had said, I never said you could come stay with me. So that's why I said I never heard the conversation. So, but back that up. My mom, the day of my granny funeral, that picture that I posted with me and Keimani, we all had got new outfits for the funeral. And I wasn't able to wear mine because it never came. Amazon, it was a delay or whatever. So Keimani didn't get to wear her new outfit because she had visible bruises and all of that around her neck and on her legs and arms. So Dorothy had had her wear like a turtleneck. You can even see it in the picture that she had on the turtleneck and leggings under a dress. And I wasn't there that day, but I saw those marks on her. And my mom had said something because my mom had did Keimani hair that day. And I was like, what the fuck? And one day we was getting the kids ready for school and Dorothy was in there hitting her. But the door was shut. And my mom ran in there and tossed her across the other side of the room and told her, bitch, you put your hands on her. While I'm here again, I'ma thump you in this motherfucking ground. That baby is too little for you to be putting your hands on, and you keep on bullying her. So she caught an attitude, and she wobbled her ass up the stairs.
Dorothy, the grandma.
And she never came back down that whole day. So my mom had ended up leaving after Christmas, like right before Christmas. And then that's when she started all over again when my mom had left. And this particular day, my brother was over. My brother on my dad's side, he had came over. He will, he always come visit me and my kids or check up on us. And Keimani's dad was there, and he like, oh, I went to school with him, and they, they was speaking to each other, and that was my first time ever seeing him as well. Like, he had bought her some shoes, and she was so excited that her dad bought her some shoes. She was like, hey, look, cousin, hey, look at these shoes my dad got. My dad bought me some Jordans. When the kids got out of school, because she got out of school before them, by the time they made it home, she got, she go back in her room, put her shoes out again. And then that's when my brother, he came over, she go, hey, look at these Jordans I got. Bitch, if you don't put them motherfucking shoes up, don't nobody give a fuck about you getting nothing. And I throw that shit away. And I was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. So I started thinking about back in April of 2021, we all had a Easter party, me and my sister, and we invited Keimani to come. So my sister...
That's not the mom that's talking, guys. That's her cousin. That's her cousin speaking. That's not her mom speaking. Her mom says she's only ever seen her hit with one wooden spoon. Her mom wasn't around. She ain't seen her daughter in the last 3 years. Yo, I'm losing it with these allergies over here.
And got Keimani. And we had told, everybody, all the kids, if y'all got Easter baskets, y'all can bring them because we was taking pictures. If not, we would just figure something out. So everyone had an Easter basket and everything except for Keimani. So my brother his girlfriend had made so many Easter baskets for the kids, like real big laundry baskets. So I'm like, my oldest, she like, Mom, you can get Keimani mine because I got a lot of stuff and I don't too much care for sweets like that, to care for candy like that. So she said, you can give Keimani the one that you got for me and I can just keep the other one. So I gave it to her. And when she said that about the shoes situation, I asked her about the Easter basket. And she said, my granny made me throw it away when I got home. And I'm like, what? And she like, yeah, because she said that I'm not allowed to have fun things. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had told my mom, and I'm like, man, that lady is a fucking devil. Like, you can look at her and she look like a fucking demon. She's straight Satan.
That's crazy. I'm gonna come back to
it. Really is. So, and then.
Hopefully she not juicing what was going on. I mean, Damo, even if she is juicing what was going on, teachers, basketball coaches, students, they all talk about the bruises they seen on Keimani. They all reported to CPS that they seen bruises on Keimani. The grandma even confirmed. CPS came out plenty of times, and they just told her the proper way to abuse her. On her behind and not where anything would be visible. That's what the grandmom said. She was advised by CPS. she never even made it like she wasn't abusing her. She made it like she found out the proper way to abuse her. I'm not from Toledo. If you're from Toledo, say you're from Toledo in the comments so that everybody that's from Toledo in the comments, you guys can meet up. I don't know. What I'm going to say, my observation with this whole situation is, right, that her mother, Keimani's mother, Tiara, said that she suffered from she is a high functioning autistic. She said I'm high functioning, but I'm autistic. She said that she has PTSD from her abuse from when she was in foster care because Dorthy indeed lost her children. She said that she has mental health issues because of all the abuse that she suffered in foster care. We know that they're saying Keimani had behavior issues, right? They saying that she had a touch of autism as well. We know that the father had mental health issues, clearly. That video that was old, that everybody wants to remind me that is old, that it's fine, it's old. But I also went down the rabbit hole of all his posts going back 2010, right? And it was clear signs of mental health issues with him as well. So when we put that those were the people that are responsible for her being born, though that was their genes, they're saying that she wasn't even on a 13-year-old's level. It makes you very more curious about Dorthy because she's the common denominator with all three of the people. It was also said that Dorthy called out of work the night that she said that she was supposed to be leaving Keimani alone. I'm just saying the obvious things are that Dorthy is coming off to be the only person with sound mind within her mother, and her father. And now Dorthy is on the news pointing a finger at all of these people that she knew had mental health issues that weren't stable. I would love to see what Keimani's siblings look like, and I don't want none of y'all to go find it and put it on the internet. I'm just saying, because are they all light brights like Keimani, or was she the only light bright to Dorothy's? I just want you guys to know that if all of these people had mental health issues, 2 of them had autism, and Dorthy is the ringleader of the 3, Dorthy made sure she didn't contact her mother or see her mother. She made sure the mother couldn't contact or see her daughter. And the father was the only person that she was allowing out of the parents to see and be around her, so much so that when she was willing to let her mom see her, which was 2 weeks ago, which was the first time in 3 years, which is like, how ironic that you let the dad take her to her mother's for the weekend when you haven't in the last 3 years, and then 2 weeks later, she's unalived. Were you giving her mom her last time with her daughter? Like, those things run through my mind. Were you making sure that she got to see her daughter one last time? Because that runs through my mind. That out of all of this time, you weren't letting her see her. Then you let her see her. And the person that took her to her mother was the person you're saying was the groomer of her. Where's Toledo, Ohio at? I need you guys to come answer some of these questions for me, or go find Dorthy and ask her these questions. I don't want you guys to come clear up nothing that's on the internet for me. I want y'all to clear up the questions I have that nobody's asking. The mom seen her a week before her passing. From 3 years. From 3 years. For the last 3 years, She haven't been able to see her. A week before she went missing, a week before her unaliving, y'all let her get a weekend? And the dad was the one that dropped her off and picked her up? Princess, I've been saying the questions. The question is, right now, right here, right now, I want Dorothy to be asked, why was her mom not able to see her for the 3 years, but a week before her unaliving, she was able to spend a weekend with her? I want you to also ask her, where's the other 2 little girls? The one that was unalived, what happened? I want you to ask what happened. The one that was unalived that they couldn't connect to Dorothy, but she was very much in Dorothy's care during her unaliving. She was Dorothy's foster child. I want to know about the foster child that was with child that nobody's seen since Dorothy said she ran away. Is not a spec. Is nothing about her online. Is nowhere. Nothing. The same way we know that it's very weird for them to think that Naziah is still alive with a baby and ain't pop up nowhere on the face of the earth. The same with that young lady that was in her care. So I want you to ask her how she lost her children. What was the reason she lost her children? How that 3 young ladies that was in her guardianship, 2 of them are now unalive and 1 has been missing with a baby. I really, really would like for you to say it, to ask. Cantrell, don't say stop saying it. If you don't want to hear it, you can leave the live. I'm asking the people in Toledo because they are the ones who keep coming in the live and saying we don't have the facts. They're from Toledo and they know more than we know. They're in my DM. They're in my email. They're on my YouTube channel saying that they know all of the facts and we're getting it wrong. So I'm addressing the Toledo, Ohio people to ask them about questions we have that's not being addressed online. And coming and telling me things that's already being addressed online does not help. So I'm asking the people from Toledo, Ohio to find those answers out. Ask the neighborhood, what happened to those little girls? Ask the people that were around, what happened to those little girls? God damn it, ask Dorothy. Even if she's not going to answer them, I'm not talking to you. Unless you're from Toledo, Ohio, I'm not even talking to you. Please sit at the back of the class until I'm done talking to the people from Toledo, Ohio. Thank you. It's not one video you can find on social media about Keimani and don't go to the comment section and see people from Toledo, Ohio say, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. We from Toledo, Ohio. Well, why none of y'all went to help none of the 3 young ladies that was in Dorothy's custody after she lost her children? I don't really necessarily care where you're from, especially if you can't shed light on the situation. Especially, I don't care where you're from if you come and you're bashing her mother, her grieving mother. I don't care. I just want to know if you guys have the answers to share them. Share them. We would love to know. I would love to know what happened to those 3 young ladies. Well, 2 other young ladies. I would love to know. Because Keimani was in school saying she was afraid for her life because somebody was unalived in her house. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to play that part of the interview from the mom. That Keimani was in school saying she was afraid for her life because somebody was unalived in her house. She was in school saying that she was afraid to go home because somebody was unalived in her house. That was in her grandmom's care. Just a coincidence, she got to spend time with her mom before her life was taken. After she hasn't been able to see her mom for years. Can you imagine the high she was on when she was in the house? How they could have infuriated Dorothy. How much of a high she was on seeing her mom after so much time. And being in the house with Dorothy, somebody that don't even like her mom, don't even like her. Hold on. I have something from, I think it's in my phone. Let me make sure to see if it's in my phone or if it's in Discord. It may be in Discord. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, it's in Discord. It's not on my phone. Hold on. Hold on. While you wait, like the live, share the live, comment, follow me. While I'm in here really quick, I want to show y'all. If you could read, you could read the screen. But he had indeed had and the walkie at the same time. And remember, his injury was in his stomach. The cops did not do that. He did it to himself. He did it to himself. The cops did. He did it to himself. But let me find this other little thing, y'all. Hold on. Shaboot, the other lady that lived in the house with them that the grandma didn't mention on the news channel, that the cousin was about to tear her head off at the scene. Shabook. But hold on, I'm still finding it. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. It's so much stuff in here, y'all. I'm trying, if somebody can help me that's in the Discord, I'm trying to find the message from the basketball coach. I'm trying to find a message that the basketball coach had put out. If somebody can help me in the Discord. It's so much stuff in here. I feel like I'm passing it. Well, her basketball teacher was basically saying that she had reached out to KEIMANI'S grandmom on several occasions about getting KEIMANI some glasses, and the grandmom kept like, whatever. Yeah, I can't get a soon appointment. So the coach then said, do you mind if I look to try to get her a sooner appointment? The coach was able to get her appointment and be able to pay for the insurance on the glasses because the grandmom just wasn't doing it. She was not doing what she needed to do. She wasn't. So either way, how y'all try to put it, she was failing her in her custody. I will accept that y'all don't want to believe she had nothing to do with the unaliving, but I won't accept the fact that y'all keep getting over the fact that she was abused by this grandmom. She was mistreated by this grandmom. She wasn't loved by this grandmom. She was tortured by her grandmom. I feel like that's spreading false information, princess. Until I have that as a fact, I don't want to take that. What I do know as a fact that is the girlfriend gave up the messages. I mean, the videos that was on the camera from that night. We did play at the beginning a Sarita Speaks video where she broke down the things that's been going on with Darnell's girlfriend. The other baby father has spoken out on Facebook. And I am going to end this live in a few minutes because I need to do something about my allergies. I need to get this makeup off. I need to clear myself out. We are going to have a subathon tomorrow. If you're not already following me, follow me. I believe we are going for either 6 to 8 hours. I'm not sure. I just have to look at my schedule. We will have, let me take this down. We will have Ashley tomorrow, and she's going to show you guys all the glasses that she has available. She's going to come on. We're going to talk about all topics. I will have the panel open for discussion as well tomorrow. If you're not already following me, please follow me. I love you guys so much. We will go over the other things that I seen a lot of comments for with Keimani today, but I would rather talk about them tomorrow since we will be here for a long period of time tomorrow. Girls, get your coins together. The subathon means I'm looking for subs. I'm looking for gifts. Get your coins or get your man's card. Come spend with me. And Ashley, because I'm sure a lot of those glasses she'll be selling tomorrow. Yeah, I love you guys down. I will post this live on my YouTube as soon as I get it to download on my phone. So this will be posted on YouTube as well. Thank you for everybody that follows me there. We don't know if this app will be done as of tomorrow. So I highly encourage you guys to follow my YouTube page. It's called Life with Maisha. It's in my bio. It's all over my page. If you look on my page, if you cannot find Life with Maisha, it's everywhere. You guys should be able to find it. I love you down. I'll see you tomorrow if we're still here. If not, your asses better be over at their YouTube at 10 o'clock because I'll be ready. And yes, I did buy everything I need for sound control for YouTube. So y'all better be ready. Yes, my YouTube is posted. See y'all. I'll be in Discord in a few minutes, guys. Let me get this makeup off my face and get some more meds in me.